Hey everybody, how you doing? It is Friday, November 16th, and it was the release of the new Bearcat model by Alternative Armies for 15mm Sci-Fi gaming, or any type of gaming, whatever you want to use it in. So I've been sitting on this model for about 2 or 3 weeks already. As you saw, I've got one already painted. I did receive two. I received them for review purposes. This is not a paid promotion or anything. These were just, like I said, received for preview and review purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and review it now. This is the unbuilt version. The other one you saw in the preview video, I'll show that here in just a little bit once I get done with the review. So it is a metal and resin model. Okay, let me get out my handy bead reamer here to point out some things. So we're going to start with the resin pieces. So we'll start with the lower legs, the lower torso. Very nice details on here. Of course, it's not going to focus. Why not? Let's try that again from a little bit further. There we go. Maybe. I'm not sure if it's because of the amount of white light coming in. There it is. So there's a little bit of cleanup needed. Got to take off this. See, now that it's in focus, I'm going to use my bead reamer. So yeah, you're going to have to take this off right here to cut it out, which is not a big deal. A little bit of flash, as you can see over here. Detailing is very nice. What is this? Is this a hole? What is that? No, that's just some little... I don't know what that is, but anyway. So yeah, so it's very nice. There's a picture of the legs. A little bit of a mold line right here that you're going to have to remove. Very simply sand it down with a very light sanding stick. And again, here's more of that flash. That flash is it just comes right off. There you go. Really don't even have to sand it down. See, this side, the mold line is in the same spot. Very light. And as with all resin, there are bound to be small little holes, small little imperfections. Not a big deal, not something you're going to have to worry or freak out about. So let's look at the upper torso. Allow it to focus in. There we go. So the upper torso, very much the same thing. Very nice, very clean. This right here, I know you can see this little line. It's a little itty bitty gap. So you can fill that in with some gel glue, nothing major. I thought I'd just leave it in there because of the theme I was doing. Both of mine have them, so there's no big deal. Got a little hole right there. Again, not a big deal. Little bit of flash. Most of the flash is right here on the bottom of this base. So that's easy to clean up. You might want to go ahead and sand this down to make it a little bit flatter. I found mine was just slightly uneven. Again, you know, you hear me saying not a big deal. It really is not a big deal at all. Because if you're using gel glue, like I used Loctite to put mine together. I did not magnetize it. I thought about it, but I didn't magnetize it because I liked it in that static pose that I set it up in. But you can magnetize it. There's plenty of room to do so. Here's the rear. You got this right here. There's some nice little detail work here. There's your rear. And on the other side, very similar. Okay, and again, for your arms, you can magnetize them if you so wish. These are deep enough to do so. I just chose not to. Here's the top side, and this is where you plug in one of the weapons or one of the extra pieces. So let's look at that stuff real quick. All right. So this would be the left arm, or rather the right arm. Again, little flash mold line, not flash, rather mold line. Right here, this is where you're going to plug in your weapon extensions, optional. If you want to magnetize, you can, if you have one that's small enough to do so. Again, nice little detail right there. That's one arm. That's the one that you can put in all these weapons. Let's look at the weapons real quick. So obviously, you're not going to put your missile rack on your arm. Or you might want to. I mean, it's up to you. But this is intended to go on the top side up here. You will have to, with these weapon pieces, you're going to have to sand them down just a little bit. Just a little bit on their pegs. So that way they fit inside. Something, again, just to be expected, you know. So yeah, this is a nice little weapon. Nice little missile pod right there. Alright, so like I said, it's supposed to be an industrial mech, an agricultural mech, so, well, industrial, agricultural. So you do have a drill, which, let me see if I can plug it into the arm. And you can, like I said, you're going to have to do just a little bit of sanding to make it fit a little bit better. Alright, so there's that. Then you have a chainsaw. I'm going to try to plug this in also, real quick. Just enough so it goes in there. So there's your chainsaw, which is really nice. It's got a nice amount of detail on it. I like it. You know, it does what it's supposed to do. It gives you the feel. Add some blood for the blood god, because you can never go wrong with blood for the blood god. Alright. Then you have the twin Gatling gun. This one you definitely got to sand down. The other one, same thing. I had to sand it down. Looks very aggressive. Nice thick weapon there. And like I said, you can see on the arm, it does have a little shield on the arm. And then you do have another weapon, a machine gun. Oops. See if I could get it in focus again. Nope, it's not going to focus. There we go. There's the machine gun. More or less focused. Okay, so this machine gun is also intended to go to the top right here. Although you can modify it. I'm not going to press it in too hard. There it is. It fit in. You know, if you want, you can just leave it in there because it's not going to fall out. You can just leave it in there, and so that way it rotates. Very interesting. And here is your left arm. Got a very nice amount of detail on it. You got there's two hydraulics there, a larger hydraulic right here. It's in the power fist mode, I guess you want to call it. Mold line, not very noticeable on it. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Again, something very easy to sand down. And there you can see the injection point was right there, or where it was on the sprue. So yeah, very cool. I like it. I dig it. Like I said, there's not a lot of cleanup you have to do. Not a lot at all. Pretty much like anything with resin, wash, give it a nice wash, get the mold release off the resin parts. Wouldn't hurt to wash off the metal parts either, just in case, just to be sure. Prime, and you're ready to go. Decide on the pose that you want to do. If you want to do magnification, which I might do on this one, I'm not sure yet. You see, there's a little bit of flash on there, so you got to trim it up a little bit. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. So let me show you mine. Let me show you the one I did. Alright, I had to put the light box on because of the color scheme against the white and the gray washed out quite a bit. So anyway, this is my version. You see, I did a couple of modifications on here. This is a custom base. It's supposed to be a street. I think I'm going to add some fuel stains to that. And let me get my bead reamer. As you can see right here, this is, whoops, sorry. This is that little seam I told you about. It's more noticeable now that it's painted. Okay, so you're probably wondering what's going on. Well, the theme was supposed to be, and it is, a Mad Max feel to it. Because this thing just gives me a vibe from the 80s. You know, the 80s anime, 80s mecha, early 90s. So what I did, I'm sorry I keep hitting this. So the first modification that you can see, I added some more shoulder armor on both shoulders. Right here, right here. A lot of these things are Flames of War bits, unless I say otherwise. They're just, I can't tell you what tanks they are. So I added some shoulder armor here. Right here, these are resistors. Plain old resistors. You can get like 1,000 of them for $1.25 off of eBay, coming out of Thailand, Malaysia, wherever you want to think. Somewhere in Asia, you can get tons of these. These make great thunder sticks. You know what these thunder sticks are? They're from Mad Max Fury Road. They threw them into the cars to explode. I got 3 of them on there because 1 has been used. Looks like I might have to paint. It's not really working out the way I want to. So this little piece here, this is the glue. I'm not even gonna lie. Looks like a pouch. Probably gonna have to make this a brown real quick. So I'll do that later. These wheels, because I wanted to have the whole skate theme from early 80s mecha designs. These are from Hot Wheels. They're just very basic Hot Wheel wheels. This wheel cover, the rim cover, it's a Flames of War bit. I believe it's a hatch. And did the same thing over here. And let me take it off this base. It's not permanently affixed to this base. Sorry about that. So we have another hatch down here that I attached. Hatch cover. So I was thinking is an emergency hatch. Probably not, because that's probably where the engine is, to be honest. Maybe a maintenance hatch. And then again, another Flames of War. I know I keep hitting the camera. Another Flames of War hatch up here. The main entry. The way I imagine it as is that this piece right here, this canopy, flips up. This piece flips down, and it's kind of like a steps for the pilot to get into. Okay. On the top of the thunder sticks, I know you can't really tell because the light is kind of washing it out or making it darker. This is that Vallejo metal color fluorescent orange or orange fluoro. I can't remember what exactly it's called, the title of it, because I do not have it on hand. The color scheme was basically livery green. Did that all over it first. Primed it gray. Let me say that first. Primed it gray. And it does stand on its own. So this is a bright, you know what, I actually have it right here. I do have the color. So this is light livery green, Vallejo model air color. It would actually be a lot brighter if I had done a white prime on it, which I didn't have at the time. So I just used the gray. Again, not a big deal. Turned out exactly the way I wanted it. Light livery green, and then I want to say goblin green was a mid transition, and towards the bottom this is jade. All this was airbrushed. Windows, you see they're nice and chrome. That's from the Molotov chrome pen. I did that. The shoulder pads and the yellow pieces, that's from the what is it, sun gold yellow. Yeah, sun gold yellow. And then Vallejo metal color burnt iron for some of these metal parts right here. Then there's more of the yellow. Squig pink. And then these little purple parts, I know you really can't tell that they're purple. Well, yeah, you can. These little purple parts are, again, of Vallejo Mecha color purple. Very simple paint job. And then, of course, I used the aluminum to do the scratches and everything like that. And I know somebody might be saying, oh, but it's supposed to be Wasteland, where's the rust? Well, I mean, you know, it's a fairly well-maintained vehicle, if this is going to be Wasteland. And I decided to put the Gatling gun, as you can see, this way. Because, you know, while in the normal position, it's great, but you're firing like this, why not spread out the carnage this way? Gives you a much wider field of fire, much wider arc of fire. So yeah, that's about it. So I like I said, I really dig it. I like it. I'm looking forward to getting maybe 1 or 2 more to make a little squad. And you're probably wondering, how did they size up against a 15mm model? You know what? I should have had one out to do so. So let me grab one real quick, because I am working on the Sector Force Authority anyway. I've been working on and off on them because things have come up. Again, these were sent to me as a preview copy. So these are the early resin ones. They are not the metal ones. So there you go. That's how they size up. And Sector Force Authority also has some motorcycles. So let me get that out here real quick. I don't think it's going to stand up against it right. I'm going to have to take it off the base. And there you go. The only real critique I have about it, and it's going to be something that people say pretty much with all mecha, because you know I love mecha. I wish it was just a tad bit bigger. I mean, I really kind of do wish it was a little bit bigger. I understand why it wasn't. But for instance, because based on the size of the Mini, just a little bit, maybe by 5mm. If it was 5mm bigger, I think I would have liked it a lot more. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I do love it. I do really like it. You know, I really do like it. I think, you know, maybe little 5mm more would have been perfect. Like I said, it's a small little critique. It's just a personal critique, not diminishing the quality of the model. Looks good, love it. You do have plenty of options if you want. Just, you know, think a little bit outside the box, and you can do a lot with this. You really can. It's a very base model. I'm not saying basic, but it's a great base model to start adding other weapons or other features to it. Take advantage of it. Let them know over there that I sent you to get it. Of course, most of you are already friends of mine and probably have already ordered from Alternative Armies in the past. Just tell them I sent you anyway. I don't get no money or anything out of it. I don't get no kickbacks. Just tell them I sent you. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you pick one up. I know they just got released today, so it's going to take about a week or 2 before you get yours. Let me know if you get one. I love to see pictures of it. Love this hobby. Alright guys, you all have a good weekend. Stay safe, don't drink and drive. No, I'm always doing the PSAs, but you know what? When I was younger, got hit by a drunk driver. My parents, you know, I was in the car with my parents. My parents got hit by a drunk driver. I know the experience. So yeah, please don't drink and drive. Alright, take it easy guys. Have fun in the wastelands. If you pick one of these up, take it to the wasteland. Destroy the enemy. Later.